Well, according to the Kelly Blue Book, the average price of a new car hit an all-time high, and used car prices month over month were down 1.1%. Get this, $50,000 is the average cost.
That's about 93% more than the price of a used car, which will put you back $26,000.
A 2004 Toyota 4Runner, sitting on a dealer lot right now. Price tag? $4,500. 6 months ago, that same truck was completely untouchable. Dealers couldn't even get close to it at auction. Now it's just sitting there, waiting. Right now, 12 used cars are plummeting in price, dropping to lows we have not seen in years. Some of them are the most reliable vehicles ever built. Some of them are traps disguised as deals. And if you do not know which is which, you are about to hand your money to someone who does. But here is where it gets dangerous. There are 5 cars on the other side of this list that are about to skyrocket, and they are going to jump fast, hard, and without warning. The window to buy them cheap is not weeks away. It is days. Most people have no idea this pattern even exists. They walk in at exactly the wrong moment, pay exactly the wrong price, and think that is just how the market works. It is not. So the question is, do you know which list your next car is on? Here is what nobody inside the car business wants you to know right now. This is the slowest stretch of the entire year for used car dealers across the country. Not slightly slow, not a little quiet. Dead. And when dealers get desperate, prices do something they almost never do in this market. They fall. Walk onto an independent dealer lot right now, and you are looking at a completely different animal than you were 6 months ago. These are not dealerships sitting comfortably on full credit lines with plenty of runway. These are small operators with floor plan interest eating into their margins. Every single day, their inventory does not move. They borrowed money to buy these cars. That money costs them more the longer those cars sit. And right now, those cars are sitting. Here is the number that explains everything. Roughly 83% of all car buyers in this country are payment buyers. They do not walk in with cash. They walk in needing a loan, needing a monthly number that fits their life. And right now, the majority of those buyers are frozen. Not because they do not need a car, not because they do not want one, but because the most money many of them will see all year is sitting in a tax refund check that has not landed yet. So they wait. And while they wait, dealers bleed. Think about what that actually means at the auction level. The same 2002 Toyota Camry that was clearing for $3,200. Last spring is going for $2,200 to $2,500 right now. Nothing changed about that car. The engine is the same. The miles are the same. The only thing that changed is the calendar and the desperation level of the people selling it. That is $1,000 evaporating from the price of one ordinary car in one ordinary season. Multiply that across 12 vehicles, and you start to understand the size of the opportunity sitting in front of you right now. The dealers who are hurting the most are the ones without storage space and without cash reserves. When you run out of room and you run out of capital, you are not negotiating anymore. You are just trying to survive until the next wave of buyers arrives. Those are the most motivated sellers on the planet. They are not holding out for a better offer. They are pricing to move because moving is the only option they have left. This is the window. It is real. It is open right now. And it is closing faster than most people realize. So let's talk about exactly which cars are dropping, how far they have fallen, and which ones are actually worth picking up before this whole market flips. Let's start with the cars dropping the hardest right now. And the first category should not surprise anyone who has been paying attention. German luxury out of warranty is one of the worst things you can own right now. The BMW 3 Series, specifically the 2015 through 2018 models, is getting hammered at auction. Dealers do not want to hold these. Buyers without deep pockets do not want to own these. The moment that warranty clock expires on a BMW, the repair bills start arriving and they do not stop. A fix that costs $400 on a Japanese car costs $1,500 on a German one. Dealers know this. Auction buyers know this. So bids stay soft and prices keep sliding. The Audi A4 from the same years tells the exact same story. Different badge, identical problem. The allure of that logo disappears fast when the first major repair shows up and the owner realizes they financed a car they cannot afford to fix. Wholesale prices on these are falling because nobody with real market knowledge wants to be stuck holding one when that bill arrives. The Mercedes C-Class from 2014 through 2018 completes this trio. Out-of-warranty German luxury across the board is about as motivated a seller's nightmare as you can find right now. These are sitting, prices are soft, and the dealers who got stuck with them are the ones willing to make deals. Then there is the Dodge Charger. The 2015 through 2018 models are getting hit from every direction simultaneously. Insurance on these cars is brutal, especially for younger buyers. Fuel costs are real because a V8 does not care about your monthly budget. And the buyer pool for a high-insurance, low-efficiency muscle car is shrinking by the week. What looked like a status symbol 6 months ago is looking like a liability at auction right now. The Chrysler 300 from the same era runs on nearly the same platform as the Charger and carries every single one of the same financial landmines. But it goes for even less because the Charger at least has a following. The 300 just has the bill. The Jeep Grand Cherokee from 2014 through 2017 closes out this first group. Known reliability issues once the powertrain warranty expires have kept values suppressed for months. Dealers who are carrying these and running low on capital are not waiting for the right buyer. They are taking offers. Before we get to the next 6, if you want the full breakdown on which of these to avoid even at rock bottom prices, download the free ebook. Avoid these 17 cars in 2026. Depreciation data, reliability scores, the exact models mechanics see constantly. Link is in the description. Read it before you walk into any dealership. Now let's talk about the second half of the drop list. Because the cars falling in this group are not failing because they are broken. They are falling because the market is oversupplied, the timing is wrong, and the buyers who would normally absorb them are sitting on their hands waiting for refund checks. That combination creates a real opportunity for anyone paying attention. The Nissan Altima from 2016 through 2019 is still carrying the hangover from years of being pushed through subprime lending pipelines. The CVT transmission concerns have not gone away. Buyers who did their homework already know about it, and they are steering clear. That softens demand. Demand softens prices. And right now, these are clearing at auction for numbers that reflect the risk, but also reflect a genuine deal if the specific car checks out mechanically. The Hyundai Sonata from 2015 through 2018 is dropping for a different reason. Oversupply. There are simply too many of them at auction right now, relative to the buyers showing up. Perceived as generic, easy to overlook, easy to underbid. If you can get one inspected and the numbers work, the gap between what it costs and what it is actually worth as reliable daily transportation is wider right now than it has been in years. The Ford Explorer from 2013 through 2017 has specific trim-level issues around cooling and transmission that have kept values suppressed for months. Not every one of them is a problem, but enough of them are that the entire model gets discounted at auction, and dealers are pricing to move rather than pricing to hold. The early 2000s Chevy Suburban and GMC Yukon are falling. because fuel costs kill buyer appetite at the budget end of the market. When your customer is stretching to come up with $3,500 cash, a vehicle that drinks fuel at this rate is a hard sell. Dealers know it. So prices compress, and the entry point on these gets lower every week the market stays slow. The Mazda 6 from 2012 through 2016 might be the most underrated car on this entire list. Genuinely reliable, well-built, vastly underappreciated at auction simply because the badge does not carry the same recognition as Toyota or Honda. Dealers treat it like a commodity. That is your advantage right now. And then there is the early 2000s Toyota 4Runner with over 180,000 miles. Normally untouchable at these price points. Right now, accessible. Because dealers who need to free up capital and move inventory cannot afford to be selective. That combination almost never happens with a 4Runner. When it does, you pay attention. The drop list is real. But this window is closing. Here is why. Here is the part of this story that most buyers never see coming. The market is not just slow right now, it is coiled. And what happens when it releases is not gradual. It is not a gentle uptick in prices over a few weeks. It is a wave that hits all at once and moves faster than almost anyone is prepared for. Think about what is actually happening on the buyer's side right now. Thousands of households across the country need a car. Some of them needed one 2 months ago, but they are running the same calculation in their heads simultaneously. Do I buy right now and stretch myself thin, or do I wait 3 weeks until that refund check lands and have a real cushion underneath me? Most of them are choosing to wait. That is not irresponsibility. That is survival math. And it means the demand that looks absent right now is not gone. It is just delayed. It is sitting in a holding pattern, and it is all going to release at the same moment. The day the first wave of government refunds hits bank accounts, something shifts immediately. It will be right after lunch when people check their phones, see the deposit cleared, and start moving. A dealer who sold 2 cars in the entire morning will sell 6 or 7 in a 3-hour window that same afternoon. Then the next day hits and it is absolute chaos. 13 to 16 cars sold in a single day. Kids running through the front office. Customer parking completely overwhelmed. People blocking the lot with their cars just to get inside. It gets that loud, that fast. And every small dealer around the country experiences the same thing at the same time. Their inventory gets wiped out simultaneously, so they all rush to the auction to restock at exactly the same moment. The Toyota Camry that cleared for $2,500 2 weeks ago jumps to $3,500, then $4,000. It can nearly double in that specific window, because every dealer in the region is chasing the same cars with fresh urgency and no patience. Then comes the hangover. Dealers who panicked and overbought at peak prices get stuck. The refund wave ends as fast as it started. The money goes exactly as quickly as it came. Dealers who paid too much for their restock cannot move the cars and cannot buy more. Wholesale prices crater again. The same cycle runs every single year without fail. Most buyers have no idea this pattern exists. They walk in at peak, pay peak prices, and assume that is just what the market looks like. It is not. It is just the worst possible moment to show up. And that moment is almost here. So if those are the cars dropping right now, what are the 5 that are about to get expensive fast? Because this is not a prediction. This is a pattern that runs the same way every single year. The same models, the same surge, the same buyers chasing the same vehicles with fresh money and no patience for waiting. If you are thinking about any of these, the time to move is now. Not after the refund wave hits. Now. The Toyota Camry sits at the top of this list, and it is not even close. Right now, a clean 2010 through 2016 Camry is clearing at auction for around $2,500. When the refund wave lands, that same car jumps to $3,500 or $4,000. That is not speculation. That happens every single year without exception. Every budget buyer with a fresh check and a need for reliable transportation circles back to the Camry first. The supply gets absorbed almost instantly, and prices reflect that demand immediately. The Lexus RX 300 and 350 from 2001 through 2009 might be the single smartest buy available on any independent lot right now. These are going for around $2,200 at auction today and selling at $4,000 the moment demand picks up. And they sell instantly. Toyota reliability underneath a premium badge with none of the brutal maintenance costs that destroy German luxury buyers. Dealers who understand this market buy every single one they can find. There is a reason smart independent lots are stacking these 5 deep right now. The Honda Civic from 2012 through 2017 is the car affordable and bulletproof that first-time buyers and budget buyers return to every single tax season without fail. Massive demand concentrated into a very short window. Supply gets absorbed faster than almost anything else in this price range when the wave hits. The Toyota Corolla from 2010 through 2017 is the most straightforward story on this list. When a buyer has $3,000 to $3,500 and needs something that will not let them down, the Corolla is their first call every single time. Prices reflect that demand the moment it shows up, and not a day later. The Honda CR-V and Toyota RAV4 from 2010 through 2016 close this list for one simple reason. Families with refund money and a genuine need for reliable daily transportation flood this segment every single tax season. Enough space, low running costs, trusted nameplate. Dealers who are sitting on these right now are about to move them fast and reprice everything upward the moment foot traffic picks up. 5 cars, 1 window, and that window is closing faster than most people realize. So how do you actually use this window before it closes? Because knowing the pattern is one thing, knowing how to move inside it is something else entirely. This is not complicated, but it does require you to act with information instead of emotion, and to understand exactly who has deals right now and who is still pricing like it is last spring. The single most important principle is timing. Buy before the wave, not during it. The buyers arriving with tax refund checks are not your allies. They are your competition, and they are arriving soon, with cash in hand, with urgency driving every decision they make. The moment that wave hits, the leverage you have right now disappears completely. The negotiation that is possible today becomes impossible the afternoon those deposits clear. Where to look matters just as much as when to look. Independent dealers. Running lean on cash and tight on storage space are the most motivated sellers in this market right now. These are not franchise lots with deep corporate backing and 6 months of runway. These are operators who borrowed money to buy inventory, who are paying floor plan interest every single day those cars sit, and who have a very real limit on how long they can hold out. When a dealer is close to their credit limit and their lot is full, they are not negotiating from strength. They are negotiating from survival. Find those dealers. Understand the math they are working with. A car bought at auction for $2,200 to $2,600 needs to sell for $3,500 to $4,500 to make the numbers work after buyer fees, any reconditioning, and lot costs. That spread tells you exactly how much room exists in the deal and where the floor actually is. Walk in knowing that math and you are having a completely different conversation than the buyer who just walked in off the street asking about monthly payments. Private party sellers are worth checking right now too. Someone who needs to move a car before a life change, a move, or a financial squeeze is often sitting at the same desperation level as the squeezed dealer, with none of the overhead markup on top. On mileage, adjust your expectations and your inspection priorities. The 175,000 to 210,000 mile range is not a liability on the right model. It is a feature. It is why the price is where it is. The question is never the miles. The question is always the maintenance history behind those miles, and whether the model you are looking at is known to go the distance. The dealer. Sitting on pressure right now is the dealer who will negotiate. The one sitting comfortably is the one who will take your money and smile. Know the difference before you walk in. Pull back for a second and look at what this market is actually telling you. Because there are two completely separate car markets running simultaneously right now, and most people do not even realize they are living inside one of them. The first market is the one you see advertised. New trucks at $65,000 to $70,000. Brand new SUVs financed over 84 months at interest rates that have not meaningfully come down. Monthly payments of $1,000 or more on vehicles that start losing value the moment they leave the lot. Buyers who stretched to get the keys and left themselves no room for anything to go wrong. And when something goes wrong, because something always goes wrong, the math that was barely working stops working completely. The repo data running at its highest levels since 2009 is not an accident. It is the predictable outcome of decisions made without information at the worst possible price point. The second market is the one most people never think about. A 2012 Toyota Corolla with 190,000 miles bought for $3,200 cash. A Lexus RX sitting on an independent lot for $4,000 that will run reliably for another 5 years without a major repair bill. A Honda Civic that costs less than 2 months of payments on a new truck and delivers better peace of mind than almost anything with a sticker price above $40,000. This market exists right now. It is not glamorous. It does not get posted on social media. But it is where actual financial leverage lives for the buyer who knows where to look. The people who understand the seasonal cycle are the ones who walk out ahead. Not because they got lucky, because they understood that the market moves in patterns, that those patterns are visible if you pay attention, and that the gap between buying at the right moment and buying at the wrong one can be worth $1,000 on a single transaction. Multiply that across a lifetime of car purchases, and you start to understand what information is actually worth. The hard truth is that most buyers arrive at exactly the wrong time. They walk in during peak demand, pay peak prices, and finance the difference on terms that guarantee they will never build equity. Then they wonder why the car feels like a financial anchor 2 years later. The car you buy right now, at the right price, from the right seller, with the total cost of ownership fully understood before you sign anything, is not just transportation. It is a decision that compounds. It either builds your financial position quietly over time or erodes it just as quietly. The pattern is visible right now. The question is whether you are going to use it. Come back to where this started. A 2004 Toyota 4Runner sitting on a dealer lot at $2,600. A truck that was completely untouchable at that price 6 months ago. Now it is accessible because the calendar shifted, the buyers dried up, and the dealer holding it needed to move inventory more than they needed to hold out for a better number. That is not luck. That is a pattern playing out exactly the way it plays out every single year for anyone paying close enough attention to see it. The 12 cars on the drop list are sitting at their lowest wholesale prices in over a year right now. Today, some of them are genuine opportunities on models that will serve their next owner well for years. Some of them are cheap for reasons that will follow you home if you are not careful. Knowing the difference between those two things is not optional. It is the entire game. The 5 cars on the spike list are about to get expensive fast. Not gradually, not slowly, fast. The wave of buyers arriving with tax refund checks will have no idea they are walking in at peak price. They will just know they finally have the money and they finally need the car. That urgency is going to cost them, and it does not have to cost you. The difference between the buyer who gets this right and the buyer who gets it wrong is not income. It is not credit score. It is not even timing, though timing matters more than most people realize. The difference is information. One buyer walked in knowing the pattern. The other walked in knowing only that they needed a car. You now know the pattern. The window is open. The wave is coming. And the repo man is already busy enough with the people who walked in without any of this. Download the free ebook. Avoid these 17 cars in 2026 before you step foot in any dealership or pull up any auction listing. Depreciation charts, reliability data, the exact models to avoid, no matter how good the deal looks on paper. Link is in the description. Do not walk through this window blind.